In this film, Attila Han is at your age. Do you want to be friends with him? Hello, I'm Attila Han. I'm the ruler of the European Han Empire. In Europe, I am known as the Whip of God. I'm the only monarch in history to bring the Pope to his knees. Would you like to know me better? I was born in the verdant geography of Central Asia, when the horses were galloping freely. We used to live in tents, and I was born in a rather big tent. I had an excellent education since my childhood. My beloved ruler, my father, Munjuk Han, was my first teacher and taught me Latin every evening, shortly after sunset in our tent. When I grew up a little, my education life continued in the palaces of Roman Empire, in pomp and vanity. Although my childhood passed in luxury, I preferred to lead a simple and plain life. I used to eat on wooden plates instead of golden ones. I made sure that my clothes were comfortable rather than being stylish. I enjoyed living modestly, but except for one thing. I've never been humble about improving myself. For example, my family taught me to use sword, and I would like to learn how to use the whip too. After the beginning of my youth, I could use swords, whips, bows and arrows perfectly. I was also a master at horse riding. When my beloved father, who was very interested in my education, passed away, my first uncle and then my brother, Bleda, became the ruler of European Han Empire. My brother Bleda and I loved and respected each other very much. Despite my young age, I had a leader spirit in me. For this reason, even though my brother was the ruler, it was as if I was running the state and I was making the decisions. But still, I wanted to become a ruler as soon as possible. In the year 445, the moment I was waiting for came, and I became the ruler of the European Han Empire. I had promised myself since I was little, when I became the ruler, I would be reliable and benevolent to my friends and a strong emperor to my opponents. I did my best to fulfill this promise I made to myself. During my reign, I expanded my empire to include much of the Europe of the time. I led not only the Huns, but also many tribes. Because of my expedition to the west and to the Roman empires, the Europeans were in a desperate situation, and they declared me barbarian. Although the Europeans called me a barbarian, I was a hero for the Hungarian people and Turkish history. I would take my place among the great emperors who left their mark on history. As a result of my expeditions to the Eastern Roman Empire, I took them under my dominion. Then I set my sights on Western Rome and immediately started preparations for the expedition. Upon learning of this situation, the Pope sent me an invaluable gifts and asked me not to organize an expedition to Rome. I thanked him and presented my conditions, and when my conditions were accepted, I stopped the preparations for the expedition. Guys, with this decision, I went down in history as the ruler who brought the Pope to his knees. I've always told you about my successes, but of course, there were times when I failed. I think you have them too. For example, my expedition against the Persians did not bring success. Well, do you know what I did in the face of this failure? I determined where I made a mistake and what I should pay attention to next. Apart from these observations, I forgot everything else and continued on my way. Children, success, failure, winning, losing, they are all about life. And life gives us new experiences every day. I am Attila Han, whose name has been written in epics, who has become a hero in languages, and who is Europe's nightmare. But of course, I have faced 1,000 difficulties throughout my life. These challenges gave me great experience. I turned my experiences into keywords and taught these words to my children and grandchildren. Now, I would like to share with you 3 of these keywords that I consider most important. My first keyword, justice. Children, without justice, there is no trust in relationships. To be fair, you must establish sharing, tolerance, honesty and equality into the center of your life. My second keyword, science. To have knowledge is to reach the high level of knowledge of the period. For this, you should be like a curious cat, read a lot and research a lot. My third keyword, courage. If you are brave, new opportunities will always come into your way and you will have the chance to take advantage of these opportunities. Remember, the high level of knowledge that science provides to a person brings many thoughts with it, but it only takes courage to put them into practice. Dear children, there have been many heroes who have shaped history from past to present, and they will be seen in the future too. Why shouldn't you be one of those heroes who have written their names in history with golden letters? I know there's a hero in all of you. Do not forget to grow this hero with justice, knowledge and courage, okay? May your days be surrounded by love, respect and tolerance.